This hour brought to you by GCNLife.com. Live younger, look younger, feel younger at GCNLife.com.
The stocks discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering on acting on information, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice.
What kingdom has sent you?
The kingdom of the Most High.
Nothing you have ever experienced can prepare you for the unbridled carnage you're about to witness. The Super Bowl, the World Series, they don't know what pressure is. In this building, it's either kill or be killed. You make no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute, you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The Genesis Communication Network is proud to bring you Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week elf, Mark Leibovit, welcoming you on board his financial time machine. And here is the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, December 8th. No other day like it, and we certainly appreciate you tuning in on a Saturday morning. Wall Street Raw tries to cover the political, financial, spiritual, and we even have little musical segments here on the Wall Street phenomenon. And a lot of action this past couple, 3 weeks in Wall Street, a lot of volatility, year-end turkey shoot with Thanksgiving, Santa Claus rally is high in many traders' expectations, but may have been shot down here with the volatility we've seen the last couple of weeks. For those of you who may not know me, I used to be one of the former elves on the old Louis Rukeyser Wall Street Week television program, which actually launched back in the early 1970s but ran into the late 1990s. And I was honored to be involved with Paul Kangas on the Nightly Business Report on PBS for 3 decades. I do produce the VRTrader.com newsletter, and here at Wall Street Raw Radio, we try to invite very special guests with provocative opinions on the market, and usually correct opinions. And one of our first guests today, our regular guest, Henry Weingarten, is kind enough to take a few moments with us on this Saturday morning and fill us in a little bit. His track record has been impeccable, and we love having his comments. Good morning, Henry. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning. Pleasure to be here. It was a nice week. We were a little bit early in our buying, but we came out all right. We're bullish for next week, as you know, and bullish for a Christmas rally. It's up to the Fed whether they want to be a Grinch or not, but more or less we take the long side, and we think that's the way it's going to go. Some of the market we've been seeing this past week, we're actually expecting in a couple of weeks. So we have to sort of readjust that a bit because we were expecting the market to do what it did, but just not when it did it. On the good side, we're happy to see oil very comfortably above 50, where we recommended buying. We believe it belongs 55 to 60. We're very comfortable and happy to see gold sort of getting over 1250. Once we get a little bit further, then the shorts are going to cover, and we should get to 1300 before the Chinese New Year in very quick order, which is something we like to see. Bonds are sort of under 295, we think is not in the right place, and we think the signal, and I put the word think, the signal from the Fed is 2 more interest rate increases, and that's it, half a point. If they're interested in making the market strong, they'll pause this time and do it in January. They want to reverse. That remains to be seen. But more or less, markets are fine. You have to decide, obviously, what you don't want to own into 2019, and I don't think index investing will do as well as stock picking next year. That's sort of the broad market. Anything specific you'd like to know?
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Bitcoin. I hear there's a story this morning out that the SEC is viewing that an ETF might be forthcoming. Now,
first of all, that's probably not the case because the ETF, the issue is are the issues of transparency, and it's too manipulated a market. In any case, the fact we got under 4,500 and under 3,800 means a lot of miners are shutting down, which means Bitcoin itself could shut down. There are fewer just big miners. There's 1,000 people that own more than 70% of it, 70% of whom are Chinese. And when people know who really owns the stuff, you wouldn't trust it. Security issues are rampant, so they may do it. But, we're in the camp of 1,000 before 10,000, 2,000 before 8,000, and the real question was 3,000 before 5. We've been betting 3. It looks like it's right, but it's possible it will go the other way. But no, even an ETF, you've got to have security, and there's no security, there's no transparency, and it's a totally manipulated market by 500 people. You want to put your money in that? Forget it. Alternatives are far better. We're on 3rd and 4th generation. Once this slaughter ends, then we'll be in the next cycle, and there'll be a few good ones that make it, and the majority are just going to zero or close to zero.
Okay, I just presume with the ETF, I think Van Eck is the fund group that's trying to get it launched. They'd be broad-based in many of the cryptocurrencies, not relying only on Bitcoin. But you still see the same risk, no matter if they're diversified or not.
Well, the problem is this: which are better? Most of these have no real purpose. Now, some of them do. There are some good ones developing, but most of them are totally open to fraud, theft, manipulation. And if you're basically a professional advisor and you put your clients in this and it loses money, you're going to lose the suit. So they can play this game, but unless they solve that transparency issue and the other issues that the SEC has brought up, this is just going to make lawyers salivate in 2019 and 2020. However, there are coins that, are worth looking at, but at this point, it's probably wait for the blood. There's not enough blood in the streets. We're going to 1,000. If you look at it technically, obviously we're going to redo everything that happened in 2017. How quickly that happens, that's open to question, but clearly anyone who's holding on and thinks we're going to $1 million is out of their minds. Back
to the markets, Henry. So basically the Fed may or may not raise rates here in the next week or so. You think they're going to hold back on the mid-December raise? You think that's possible?
It's possible, yes. And if they were smart, they would do it. And they'll say we'll pause because of all the issues outside of us, because of the China and the trade and the theft. And that would be a massive rally. Or if they do it and say that we'll, pause a little bit and look, which is what they should do unless they want to destroy the market and they want to destroy the housing market. It's a very easy thing to keep this going if they want to keep it going. And I don't think politically there's a reason for them to destroy things now. So I think they're going to signal. They've been signaling back and forth, which is one of the reasons the market's been gyrating, 700-800 points. But I think they'll say if we're near what is considered normal, and that's about a half a point, then the markets will be very happy. So I'm always hoping they'll do better. I don't trust it. We're very well hedged. We don't really care. But this is what they should do. Whether they will do it, that's a whole different ballgame. Okay,
speaking of what should do and could do, back and forth daily on whether we're going to have a big settlement with China or not. I know you were bullish, thinking that it would win the U.S. would be on the positive end of the stick.
Right, and short term, that's what's happening. Now, whether it lasts, that's a whole different ballgame. But Trump played it brilliantly. They're buying natural gas. They're going to be buying soybeans. And watch the beans there. And they're going to be buying other stuff. Now, whether they're going to give up on the big intellectual property things, that I can't say. And there may be problems as we get to March and May. But short term, it's moving forward, and neither side is going to want it to happen, that it doesn't happen. So at the moment, the noises are it's moving forward. Now, again, whether it's 100%, who knows? It may be very much like Canada and Mexico, where it's just a change in direction, not necessarily as much as you want, but a definite change in the battleship direction.
So what's the timing? What's the timing of this? When do you think they would come to a resolution? What's your work say? What time would it be?
Well, it's not a question of that. It's not a question of that. If you know the you have to understand China's got Saturn all next year, which means it's got to deal with debt, it's got to deal with government issues. So it's not a great place to invest next year. It's a long-term opportunity for them to do structural issues, but it's like the credit cards when you spend a lot of money and then people want to get paid off. So it's not a great place to invest. Long term, it's actually good for them if they make the proper adjustments or versus playing financial games. We don't know, but you've got the 90 days from December 1st. How much progress is going to be made and whether they'll postpone it. However, as we're saying in our 21st, we have a webinar that's open to the public on the 21st, and you can also see it later. But I'll talk about it next week.
Henry, thank you for joining us. Henry Weingarten from afund.com. Speak to you next week. And don't touch your dial, folks. We'll be after the break with Don Violo.
You're listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetlawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
sound of a house being trashed while a gang of thieves ransack the place. And what they don't steal will be destroyed.
This year, resolve not to be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone inside is watching TV, even when you're miles away. Security is a mindset, and Fake TV should be part of your security solution. Be vigilant, but not fearful. faketv.com.
Extendivite, a 7-herb combination made from garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. Extendivite feeds our body with the right nutrients to keep us healthy. Just listen to what Arthur has to say.
I was just calling to tell you what a great product you have. I had used this about, 10 years ago after I had congestive heart failure. And it fixed me up and got me going for the last 10 years. Lately, I've been having heart trouble again, so I placed another order because this was the only thing that ever worked. And I just wanted to let you know that you have a great product.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
The United States of Empire is a book that claims the United States is the empire of the world. George Washington had warned us against foreign wars. The United States of Empire shows that World Wars I and II left England broken. Its former colony, the U.S., had to save the empire. Was there ever a vote? Who do we fight for? The deep state began with World War I. The United States of Empire by James Dunn. Available at Amazon Books.
Anytime, any place, anywhere, radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise at gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I have problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose.
And here's Mike's best offer ever. MyPillow is now offering 50% off their 4-pack special plus free shipping. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's 50% off plus free shipping. Don't delay. Order now.
Homemakers. Groceries by mail ships free. Try our amazing bacon. It stores in your pantry. No refrigeration required. Our value-added packaging provides a 10-year shelf life and protects the leanest, thickest, center-cut, fully cooked bacon in America today. Ready to eat right from the pouch or warm and serve. Always priced less than grocery for your everyday use. Savory and delicious. Order today at readytoeatbacon.com. readytoeatbacon.com.
Never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Raw Radio Show with Mark Leibovit, your time machine for the financial markets. Want to know more? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Now, here's the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on the Saturday, the 8th of December. And we want to thank Henry Weingarten for helping us this morning with his great commentary. We also have Sinclair No in the green room. Hopefully he'll join us here in a few minutes. Our good friend Don Violo as well. And we're going to be trying to reach Harry Boxer this morning. So we'll do our best to try to get as much coverage as we can. Harry, are you with us? Good morning. Another week has gone by that quick. It was like 10 minutes ago, right? a lot going on in the markets. The big story for me.
The problem with the market is there's just no volatility.
It's too quiet. It's up 400 one day, down 400 the next, right? Wow.
No, what do you mean? The same day.
It's even better. You're right. So the big story this morning in the cannabis space was Philip Morris and Cronos. Just a matter of 3 weeks ago, we heard that they were talking to Afria, and then that fell apart, and now it's Cronos. Just all over the place here, but unbelievable action in terms of U.S. participation in Canada. What's going on with Cronos?
About the only group that's doing anything. When you look at CGC, ACB, Tilray, and all the players in that group, those are the only ones on my board that are green. Other than Tesla, up 12. I don't get that, but there you go. Tesla's got a major short squeeze going on.
What about Philip Morris itself? If you look at the chart, the stock is relatively cheap compared to where it's been in the last few weeks. You think Philip Morris looks like a play, or no? They're the ones going after Cronos.
It's not my cup of tea. But I do think the market is going to surprise and rally late in the day today. How's that?
Okay. Now, remember, we're taping this interview on Friday, so the market is down 400 points.
The Dow's down 369, 366, 360, rallying at 59.
Okay.
We're getting some upticks here in the market.
Yes, it's all news-driven based on what China does or doesn't do, apparently. And there's always the hope that the Fed may pass on their interest rate hike this coming week and defer that till January. That would help the market for sure. We'll see. But meanwhile, we are in a choppy period, a lot of volatility. What's going on with your board, Harry? What else is going on besides cannabis? What do you like?
Well, obviously the ultra short, the day trade shorts, like TVIX is ramped up beautifully today. We've traded that several times in the last week successfully, unfortunately for the market, but it has been successful. In addition, we also have Clovis on the takeover rumors, and we got two other stocks, Comtel, CMTL, up 5, and Domo, DOMO, up 320, that we're doing day trades on. No matter how bad the market is, there's always stocks moving up.
Oh, yeah, there's always some, but gold's coming back. I know you were a little hesitant, but it's been improving. Looks like it is going higher, slowly.
Slowly, but that's the problem. Too slow for me. I do like AU. It's acting great. Take a look at that chart. We'll find out.
And American Barrick as well, ABX as well.
This is about as ugly a market as I've seen in a long time. Just gets ugly. But we haven't seen an oversold, throw the baby out with the bathwater selling climate. That's the problem.
Well, a lot of people are holding their breath for the Santa Claus rally, and as we just mentioned, a lot depends on interest rate hike or no hike, China, no China. But if you look at the big picture here, it looks like many of the big stocks, particularly on NASDAQ, topped out weeks and weeks ago. So you could build a bear case into 2019 if you look at the
Apple, new low, 170, below the October low, below the low for a couple months ago. So not a good sign for the market, but they still have a chance if they can hold the recent spike lows. They have a shot at a much better rally, but the pullback is so steep today. We're down 170 points on NASDAQ from top to bottom, and that's a pretty decent drop off. So, it's not a pretty sight. So I have my people defensive today with ultra shorts. And we even have some successful shorts today. We had a couple of beauties on the short side. For example, ULTA, Ultra Salon. We got started about 274 this morning. It's now 59 and dropping. And big lots, I said short the first bounce. It bounced up to 34. It's trading at 31 now. So, we're able to get some day trade shorts for my day traders.
And that's what it's all about, folks. The techtrader.com. That's Harry's service. There's still a 2-week free trial offered if you go to thetechtrader.com, and you can test it out and see all these intraday trades, which many cases have nothing to do with what the stock market is doing, which is
exactly.
fabulous.
And there's no credit card required, and even if you don't sign up after a 2-week trial, you receive a free 2-check DVD on day and swing trade.
Well, oh, that's new. That's great.
It's actually been around a while. I just never really told you about it. Anyway, yeah.
Well, we got a freebie, folks. That's great. Okay, so go to thetechtrader.com. Harry, thank you, and good luck with your trading the rest of today, Friday, when we're doing this recording, and have a great weekend, and we'll talk next week. Take care. Okay. That's Harry Boxer from the thetechtrader.com, and my good friend Don Violo is with us from equityclock.com and timingthemarket.ca. Good morning, Don. Thank you for being patient and waiting for your spot.
Good morning, Mark.
We've been running a little late here today. Thank you very much. Don, again, is the creator of equityclock.com and timingthemarket.ca, and he's with us every week. Don, so we were joking a few minutes ago with Henry, no volatility in the market.
That's a laugh. That's for darn sure. Now, the major equity indices this week just got slammed. A lot of it has to do with the China-U.S. trade war escalation. The rest of the chief operating officer of Hawaii in Vancouver on behalf of the U.S. authorities certainly added to investor uncertainty and volatility. However, by the end of the week, North American equity markets did bounce back following a successful test of their October 29th lows.
Right, and a lot of it depends on what the Fed's going to do next week or not. Speculation, maybe they'll hold back on their December rate hike, maybe not. And then, of course, China is like minute to minute, Don. It's unbelievable what's going on.
Lots of volatility.
No question about it. So we're going to run out of time on this segment, and we got a lot to cover here. We want to talk about cannabis. We want to talk about the technical evidence of a seasonal move, talk about gold, crude oil. So we have a lot to cover with Don Violo. So I don't want you to touch your dial, folks. We're going to be back after the break here on Wall Street Raw Radio, and our good friend Sinclair Noe will be joining us later in the program. Don, can you hang with us here for a couple minutes during the break? We got a lot to cover.
Can do.
Okay, great. Don Violo from equityclock.com and Timing the Markets here. We'll continue right after the break, folks.
Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. Here, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market tsunami. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required, and no one will call. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw report and Gold News Raw report at wallstreetraw.com.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercials, commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Introducing Reveal from GCNlife.com. Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman invented Reveal, which contains polypeptides with natural botanicals and no parabens, sulfates, silicones, or dyes for a salon-quality hair growth product. Reveal. Here's Dr. Newman.
I've treated a lot of patients who lose their hair and they lose their confidence. We've created a unique set of polypeptides, which we call HPT6. The HPT6 contains the polypeptides from 6 different plants. The scalp infusion treatment should be used on wet or dry scalp. The Reveal hair care system is designed to be used for men and women alike.
Get Reveal at GCNlife.com with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try Reveal today at GCNlife.com or 844-443-6637. Plus a discount up to 25% off for Reveal at GCNlife.com or 844-443-6637.
Hey everyone, Proactive MD has an incredible offer for our radio listeners only. Stay tuned for our exclusive offer that includes a free charcoal pore cleansing brush and free shipping. Proactive MD with prescription strength adapalene can heal and prevent future breakouts. Today, for just $19.95, we're offering listeners the 3-piece Proactive MD system with free shipping, plus a free gift, the new charcoal pore cleansing brush. Get this exclusive offer by calling now, 1-800-583-8662, or go to proactive.com and enter promo code RADIO. You heard right. Proactive MD plus free shipping and a free gift, the new charcoal pore cleansing brush. You'll get all this for just $19.95 and their 60-day money-back guarantee. You're guaranteed to get clear and stay clear, or you get your money back. Call now, 1-800-583-8662. That's 1-800-583-8662. Or go to proactive.com and enter promo code RADIO. Again, go to proactive.com and enter promo code RADIO.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. Want to know more about Wall Street Raw and the Leibovit VR newsletters? Go to wallstreetraw.radio.com.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, the 8th of December, and our good friend Don Bulow is with us from EquityClock.com and TimingTheMarket.ca. Thank you, Don, for hanging with us through the break. Well, a lot going on this week. Big story on Friday was the cannabis sector, where Philip Morris, Altria, decided to go after Cronos.
Yeah, that's great news for the cannabis sector. Altria reached an agreement to purchase a 45% interest in Cronos Group for $1.8 billion U.S. Cronos jumped more than 30% on the news. Other cannabis stocks moved higher also in anticipation of other major companies entering the cannabis sector. A good example of that is the ETF HMMJ, which gained over 5.5% on Friday.
There's so much action in this group, and we can spend an entire segment on it, but, rumors back and forth, what company was going to go after what company. If I'm not mistaken, there was rumors, might have been reported in the Globe and Mail in the last few weeks, that Altria was looking at Aphria, and that didn't happen. And now Aphria had its old sense of problems with a big short seller this past week, Don. Are you up to speed on that story?
Oh yeah, that was they really whacked Altria, but the company came back with supposedly evidence that the short seller was kind of telling the story, and the stock quickly came back, particularly on Friday.
Right, and we have Coca-Cola out there a few weeks ago. There were rumors that they might be looking at Aurora Cannabis. Then Coke says no, they're not, but other news sources say that that just might be a diversion. There's no question that the big U.S. companies are taking advantage of the opportunity. It all started, as you know, with Constellation Brands, several months ago with Canopy Growth. So the actions in Canada, there's no question about it. That's where it is.
So far so good.
So let's look at the seasonality patterns here. Yeah, I guess we can focus on gold first. Gold has been moving higher as you predicted.
Yeah, the technical evidence is that the gold sector is moving higher than usual this year. The period of seasonal strength for gold and gold stocks normally starts next week and continues to the end of February. On Friday, spot gold prices moved above resistance at $12.46 US per ounce, extending an intermediate uptrend. Now, selected Canadian gold stocks, including Agnico Eagle, Barrick Gold, and Kirkland Lake Gold, broke to new highs. In fact, Kirkland Gold broke to an all-time high. Now, gold and gold stocks are influenced at this time of year partially by growing demand for gold by China prior to the Chinese New Year's, which in 2019 is on February the 5th. The Chinese have a tradition of gifting gold under Chinese New Year.
Your seasonality work, if I'm not mistaken, calls for strength in gold through February, correct?
That's right, and the technicals are certainly lining up both for the price of gold and also for gold stocks.
Okay, I'm not going to hold you to it, Don, but do you have any price targets in mind at all where gold could go during this period?
Yeah, this particular first move is likely to reach above the 1,300 level for U.S. gold. And we could see that significantly higher if we have any kind of, shall we say, problems with China. But initial target is around the $1,300 level between now and the end of February.
So that would take out that 1275 resistance level. But the big number is way up there. Isn't it like 1370? That's the big number that the bulls would say a new bull market is underway, correct?
That's correct. It'll get there. Give it time, but for now, you want to play the seasonal trade in gold and gold stocks, and it's starting to look very, very good this year.
Well, speaking of volatility in the stock market, where you certainly saw it in crude oil all over the place, let's talk about that a little bit. Looks like we might be hitting a little bit of a bottom here.
Yeah, interesting. It works on a seasonal basis as well. Now, historically, the price of crude oil bottoms right around the middle of December, and looks like it's going to be doing it again this year. Now, historically, it moves higher at least until spring. Sometimes it can even go far longer than that. Now, crude oil bounced last week for a good reason. OPEC announced on Friday a reduction in its production of 1.2 million barrels per day. So that's setting the stage for a bottoming in crude oil and for significantly higher prices right through until at least spring of next year.
So while crude oil was underperforming in recent weeks, we saw natural gas really take off, and it's still showing a lot of resiliency. I'm looking at the chart. It looks really extended, but it also looks like a bull flag formation. We may be going higher in natural gas. Do you agree or no?
Yes, natural gas has been fascinating. It's up over 50% over the last 2.5 months. And historically, natural gas prices move higher right through until about the third week in December. And certainly following that seasonal pattern once again.
So let's back up a second for the overall stock market. So seasonality is still, the wind's still at our back despite all this volatility we're seeing in the market. If we weren't looking at the news, we would be positive into the first of the year, correct?
Well, it's been fascinating because it's looking at the U.S. equity market in particular. There's clearly one sector which has been under a lot of pressure, and that's the FANG stocks. And they are a very large part of the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ as well. If you exclude the FANG stocks, the rest of the U.S. equity market has actually been doing fairly well. You've seen the utility spiders hit a new high. Last week, you also had the healthcare and consumer stable sectors very close to highs. So these are sectors which continue to move higher, whereas the FANG stocks are not doing so well. Now, to be fair, they bounced a little bit over the last week or so. So there is hope that they might start to come back once again. Historically, the technology sector does well at this time of year because people buy a lot of new iPhones and all kinds of interesting technology and for the Christmas season. It just hasn't shown up in the stock prices as yet.
Right, I'm looking at Apple Computer, continues talking about FANG. Apple Computer virtually at multi-week lows on Friday, dropping from about $235 down to about $170. So that's one of the leaders.
Yes, and Apple is the biggest stock on the NASDAQ 100 as well as the S&P 500. So when that stock goes down, then that has a direct impact on the market itself. But the thing is that there are other things that you can be played and you can make good money in these markets. And, it's a matter of looking at where to go. And things like mining stocks, base metals, and gold look very, very good at current levels.
Well, speaking of FANG, it's not in the FANG group, but Tesla keeps pushing to new relative highs. It was actually up on Friday despite the market being soft. So I guess you can call that a tech play, can't we, huh?
Yeah, I guess you can, but it's a little bit different of a tech play. As part of the overall picture, it's not a major representative in the major equity indices, and therefore it doesn't have that much of an influence on, say, the NASDAQ 100, which is not part of, or and some of the other indices in the United States.
Don, I want to thank you so much for taking so much time with us on this Saturday morning, covering a lot of markets and a lot of territory. We're talking to Don Violo from EquityClock.com and TimingTheMarket.ca, and we'll be back with you next week, Don. Thank you, and have a great weekend. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark.
So much great coverage from Don, and we really appreciate having him on the show, particularly with all the action in those Canadian cannabis stocks, which have been a bastion of strength for traders, particularly those willing to go both sides. Don't touch your dial, folks. We'll be back after the break with our good friend Sinclair No.
You are listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. At wallstreetraw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at wallstreetraw.com. That's wallstreetraw.com.
It's been said, any society is only 3 missed meals away from chaos. Those times may be near. Think about it. Our country faces multiple terrorist threats and aggressions from Russia and North Korea. Social unrest and violent marches yet again may lead to looting of stores and city shutdowns. And a crumbling infrastructure leaves our power grid vulnerable to long-term outages from a single cyber attack. When the chaos from any one of these threats arises, the government knows it can't provide during a widespread national emergency. That's why you need your own plan for self-reliance. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. Get a 4-week survival food supply for only $99. That includes breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Order online at preparewithgcn.com. $99 for 4 weeks of survival food that tastes like homemade cooking and lasts up to 25 years from My Patriot Supply. Get your kits today at preparewithgcn.com. Free shipping is included. Preparewithgcn.com.
Want revenge on the common housefly? Well, after 10,000 years, someone has finally come up with a better way. The Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic and no batteries required. So much fun, you'll forget you have a wife and kids. Makes the perfect stocking stuffer. Get your Bug Assault today and save $10 on the Bug Beam Laser Combo, only at bugassault.com.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving.
If you've been in business more than 20 minutes, you've probably printed your logo on all kinds of promotional products. We all know logos work because they're on everything from the top of skyscrapers to the bottom of shoes. Ever wondered why or how to best use your logo to grow your business? Let us show you today for free. We're 4imprint, promotional product experts at your service. We're giving away the latest issue of Amplify, the digital magazine that reveals promotional product success stories absolutely free to everyone who texts UP77 to 88988. At 4imprint, we make your logo look perfect on thousands of promotional items. With our 100% guarantee, it'll be right the first time, on time, every time. Your free e-magazine will reveal invaluable insights that can attract new customers, build your brand, and grow your business. Get the latest issue of Amplify absolutely free by texting UP77 to 88988. That's UP77 to 88988.
In these uncertain times, it makes sense to have a sustainable backup method to cook food and boil water. If your current plan includes using a fuel-burning stove or cooking over an open fire, then there's a much better way. The Minuteman Rocket Stove is a biomass-burning cooking stove that only requires small quantities of sticks and twigs for fuel. The Minuteman Stove is easy to use, smokeless, portable, powerful, and sustainable. For the finest in survival cooking stoves and fire starters made right here in the USA, go to MinutemanStove.com. That's MinutemanStove.com.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
There is no freedom without the law.
Get it? Got it? Good.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw and the final segment with Mark Leibovit. Now, here's the elf himself.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. It is Saturday, December 8th, and a lot of traders holding their breath for the big Santa Claus rally, but it seems to be a little bit deferred one day to the next with stories coming out of China and concern about interest rates and so forth and so on. And to clear that up a bit, we have our good friend Sinclair No from KFNN 1510 Phoenix and author of the great blog EatTheBankers.com. Sinclair, thank you again for joining us on this Saturday morning.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, Mark.
Sinclair, no volatility in the market the past couple of weeks. We can just go to sleep looking at the board.
Excuse me, I have to reorder Tums in bulk.
400 points one day, 500 points the next. Just doesn't stop with the story out of China.
And that can be the story in a single day. You can be down 750, finish the day, slightly negative or maybe even slightly positive. Next day you can see the market starting out to the positive, only to finish the session down 400, 500, 600 points or more. This is getting crazy right now.
It also, chases investors out of the game too. People don't like to see this type of volatility, and it's not good. From the investment perspective, people are just shy from the markets when you see this type of action. But a lot of this contingent about what's going on with China and interest rates. So next week is the Fed day. Some speculation that they might postpone it. Is that even on the table?
No, it's not.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why it's not. It's because the Fed has already telegraphed, they've already put out there that they're going to raise rates at the December FOMC policy meeting, which is coming up just around the corner, less than 10 days from now, or right about 10 days from now. So they're not going to do something that they haven't already telegraphed, and they're also going to go into a blackout period where Fed policymakers can't talk about anything, so they can't say, we may not raise rates this time around. If they don't raise rates at the December meeting, that's going to freak out the market even more. Why didn't they raise rates? What's wrong with the economy? It's worse than we ever could have imagined. So they'll raise rates in December.
But they could telegraph that January won't happen, right?
They could telegraph that they're then in wait-and-see mode.
we're going to sit back. We've raised rates 4 times in 2018. We want to sit back and see what the effect is. Is it having any effect? Maybe we don't need to do more. Maybe we do. We'll wait and see. That means that we're not going to see any chance of a hike until March, and maybe not even then. It might be postponed and put off further than we would have imagined, particularly when we hear how strong the economy is. But we hear how strong the economy is. Friday we got the jobs report. It wasn't that strong. 155,000 new jobs added in November. Missed expectations of right at 200,000 jobs. Now, that said, 155,000 jobs, not so bad. Unemployment rate, 3.7%, 49-year low. You got to go back to the 60s to find a lower unemployment rate than 3.7%. That's all good and positive. And wages have started to move just a little bit, but not so much that everybody's freaking out about inflationary pressures from rising wages. That's pretty good. That's a not too hot, not too cold little Goldilocks scenario there. I mean, it's really not that bad, but then, the market's a forward-looking mechanism. It's saying, what's it going to be like in 3 months, 6 months? And that's where it changes. That's where we saw the bond yields invert this past week between the 2 and the, I think it was the 2 and the 5 year that inverted. Now, that's not your classic conversion of the 2-year, 10-year notes, but good enough to get some people a little bit freaked out this week.
What's your take on the G20 summit and what's happened since? It's like 1 minute to the next. We had that arrest of that key corporate executive in Vancouver, I think, on Friday. Chinese company pissed off the Chinese a little bit.
Yeah.
What's your sense of what's happening out there?
That was Huawei executive Ming, and she was arrested in Vancouver. Apparently, the same day as the dinner between Trump and Xi was taking place at the G20 summit down in Argentina. Apparently that was almost simultaneous with the arrest of Wing and Victoria. What does that have to do? Hard to say, but it does kind of send a message that we don't really trust Chinese technology and we're not going to put up with it. And maybe they were trying to say, follow along with the sanctions, because it was supposedly some sort of sanctions violation dealing with Iran, Huawei doing something with Iran that they should not have done. Generally, I think that we see some negotiations taking place by Trump where he has this nice meeting, the tone seems to change, people starting to feel good and positive about a variety of different things, but then there's no follow-up. Where's the actual written deal? Where is the doing part of the deal rather than just the talking and the tone part of the deal? And certainly he didn't come up with the specifics. We don't have anything from China written. We don't have any details about what's happening. It was kind of made up on the fly and then a little bit more afterwards. And at that point, nothing is even happening for the next 90 days, so we don't know. It could be back to the worst-case scenario for tariffs. Maybe, maybe not. At this point, we just don't know, and that brings even more uncertainty into the marketplace for businesses and for investors. And, of course, the market hates uncertainty, so it didn't really resolve the trade and tariff issue that we have with China. Maybe it improved the tone a little bit, but we're still out here in the woods trying to figure out what's supposed to be going on, not just today, but 90 days from now. You got to plan. When it comes to business, you got to plan more than 90 days out. Otherwise, you're going to have a whole world of headaches.
Right. There were expectations that, some firm agreements would be reached, and really all that happened was a pause. It really was disappointing.
Yeah, it really was. It was a pause. It was not a resolution of the trade conflict. As far as we know, 90 days from now, we could see 25% tariffs on basically everything to do with trade with China.
Right, and the markets are not going to like that. But, we're in the seasonal positive period, and for those who've been betting on the Thanksgiving Santa Claus rally, there have been some rallies intraday and some moves, but it's been just choppy with this really downward bias. So we really won't know until we see the action in January, what's really happening here. We'll see how the market closes the end of the year. That's really, the big news for me from a technical point of view.
You're absolutely correct, Mark. You got it. And keep listening to Mark for all the technical info that you need to trade these markets. None better.
Well, thank you. I'll send you your check next week, Sinclair. Thank you. Okay.
Just give me a tip. Send me a copy of the newsletter, and I'll follow that. That works for me.
Well, one of the big stories we touch on it occasionally, but then I'm a big proponent of the cannabis stocks. One of the big stories that came out on Friday, and this is something I've been speculating about for a long time, and about it, is Altria. Philip Morris decided to go after, almost put $2 billion into Cronos, which is a Canadian marijuana producer.
You've been saying to watch out for this for a long time, and it's happening.
So we got Constellation Brands up there. We got Molson Coors up there. Now we have Philip Morris. There was rumors that Coca-Cola was going to go up, and then they denied at some board meeting that was going to happen. But I think that was just a diversion. There's no question in my mind they're not going to watch all these other companies create cannabis-related beverages, and Coke's not involved. But thank you for your input, and have a great trip. Sinclair's gone for the next 3 weeks. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Mark. All the best. See you next year.
And as we do on our show each week, we close our show with the phrase, "We will know in the fullness of time." Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for listening to Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week Alpha, Mark Leibovit. If you missed any of today's show or to get in touch with Mark, please go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Any stocks or investment discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. We first recommend you seek out a licensed financial professional for advice. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week Elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. Here, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market tsunami. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required, and no one will call. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw report and Gold News Raw report at wallstreetraw.com.
Do you feel like many of us? All the distractions in the world taking our minds and focus off what really needs to get done day to day? Well, Jeunesse has a dietary supplement called Mind to help with mental distraction, and it supports memory function. Go to GCNlife.com now to check it out. You're only at your best when your mind is at its best. Go to GCNlife.com or call toll-free 844-443-6637. That's GCNlife.com or 844-443-6637.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.